So let's see that how can we add multi-digit decimals to the thousands place using the standard algorithms. Now first of all, remember we already know about the place values, right? So I already have mentioned that how to determine or how to read the place values. Now let's check this thing. Let's suppose you have 2, 4, 3, 6, 9, 5. For example, this is your number. Now, can you see any decimal here? No, you can't see any decimal. So, read and give them the names. Okay, so the number which is on the rightmost side, that is said to be ones. You can see here, it is called ones. Then this number, it will be tens, right? And then this 6 will be hundreds. Then 3 will be thousands. Okay, then this 4 will be 10,000s, right? And this 2 will be 100,000s. Now, if I put after this thing, there could be, let's suppose this is my decimal, right? And after the decimal, I write some more some more values. So what do you read after the decimal? So after the decimal, the first digit will be known as tenth. Yani this th you have to straight. You have to stress on this th. Okay, tenth. 500th. 7 this you will call thousandth. Then this 6, 10,000th. Then this one, 100,000th. So after the decimal, whatever the place value you will read, you have to stress on the th. Now you need to know this thing, and you have studied already in grade 5 about this thing. So we will not go deeper about it. We will study how can we use this thing in addition and subtraction. Now this is the white slide, and I want to tell you that how can we add, if I ask you to add 5.26 and, okay, so the question is add 5.26 and 6.91, for example, okay. How can you add it? So the first term you write it as it is, okay. Vertically we have to add, so I am writing here 5, then point, then 2, and then 6. Okay, this is said to be decimal, and also we can call it as point. Okay, now we have to read under this terms 6.91. Now in addition and subtraction, remember, before you write anything, under the decimal you have to put the decimal. Okay, so these decimals should be in one line. Okay, before the decimal what is written? 6. So I write here 6. After the decimal what is written? 9 and 1. So under the 2, I write the 9. Under the 6, I write the 1. Okay. Now add means what? Add means plus. Let's start adding from the right side. So 6 plus 1, 7, right? 9 plus 2, we know 11. So 11, I'm showing you here, it is 11. So we don't write 11. We write only the 1 down. And this remaining one we carry over here. Okay. Now under the decimal, you will put the decimal. Now add all these three. 5, 1 plus 5 is 6, and 6 plus 6, 12. So write down 12 here. So this is the way we add the two digits which contains the decimals. Let's practice these two questions. Okay. Now here it is something difficult. Look at this. What is it written? 0.32, 12.965 and 1.1. Okay. So how do we write? Look, first of all, we will write 0. Let me write in the proper way. Okay, so first of all, we are going to write what? 0.32. Right? Now I told you that under the decimal, you have to write decimal. Now, what is this digit? 12.965. So, under the 3, look, under the 0, I'll have to write 12. But don't write the 12. 2 here and 1 here. Okay, on the empty place. Under each digit, you have to write each digit. Now, here under the 3, you will write 9. Under the 2, you will write 6. Now, 5 left, right? So, you write here 5 beside here 5. Okay, now we have 1.1. Okay, so what do we said? That under the decimal, we have to put the decimal. Now this one before the decimal, so we will put here. Okay, don't write under this one, very closely. Okay, and under the one, now under the 9, you just write the 9. That's all. Once everything is done, that's all. No need to write anything. Now, if you feel that you might do the mistakes in adding, then if there is an empty place, you could put the 0. You can put, you cannot put. Okay, it's up to you. If you put, no problem. If you do not put, also no problem. Okay, 0 plus 5 is 5 and 5 plus 0 is 5. Okay, now 2 plus 6 is 8 and 8 plus 0 is 8. Now 3 plus 9, 12. 12 plus 1, 13. So look here, 13 like this, right? So we don't write the 13. We write the 3 only here and 1 carry. Okay, now can you see the decimal? So under the decimal, we will put decimal. Okay, decimal's place stays the same. Now add 1 plus 2, 3. 3 plus 1, 4. Next, 0 plus 1 is 1 and 1 plus 0 is 1. So that is our answer. Now, next one, let's see, read it next one, this one, right? How do we read it? 51. Okay, you can see there is no decimal. So I wrote here 51. No decimal. No decimal means the decimal is after the 51. Okay, and after the decimal, put the 0 to just write it. Okay. Now write here 14 plus 0.02. Now under the point, we write the point. Then here 14, so we here put 4 and here 1. And 0 under the 0, 0 and then 2 beside this one. Then we have here 2.1. So under the decimal, before the point there is a 2 and after the point there is 1. Then what I told you, that if you have the empty places, just fill up with the zeros so that you do not confuse. Okay, let's start reading. 0 plus 2 plus 0. It is 2. 0 plus 0 plus 1. It is 1. Point, 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 point. Then 1 plus 4, 5. 5 plus 2, 7. That's great. 5 plus 1, 6. 6 plus 0 is 6. So that is our answer. Now look at the question. Here you have to subtract the decimals. Okay, the two digits containing the decimals, you have to subtract them. Now the way is almost the same as the previous one. So the first thing is that we write the first digit. Okay, 13.8. Now, like the addition, same way you have to write the other digit, means under the decimal, put the decimal. Now 1.2 sign. So before the decimal, one digit under the 3, 1. and 2 7 is under the 8 2. Now don't write 7 here, okay? Don't write 7 here. This is the wrong place to write 7, okay? So write it in the proper way. Let me show you. So this is not like this, but you have to write in this way. So 2, and now beside that one here put 7. Now, as I told you, when you have to subtract or add, on the empty places, put the 0. That is the best thing to understand. Now, students, they subtract the down from the up. No, always subtract from up to down. Okay, not from big to up, big to small, but from up to down in the vertical way. Okay, so you cannot subtract the 7 from 0. So for that reason, what do? You take the 1 from the neighborhood. So here left 7 and this becomes 10. Now 10 minus 7 gives you 3. Here left 7. So 7 minus 2 gives you 5. Point, point, point. 3 minus 1, 2, and 1 minus 0 is 1. So that is our final answer. Okay. Now here they are asking you to solve this question through the graphing or through the grids. Okay. The 10:10 grid represent one whole. So here this all 10:10 grid, this whole thing is equals to one whole. Or let's see here what they are asking you. Find the sum of 0.13 and 0.58 using 10:10 grid. You have to add. Okay. So 0.13. So first of all, you just color 13 blocks. Okay, 10, then here 11, 12 and 13. After that, you color 58 blocks. Okay, 58, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then here, if I make here 7, so this one we will color. So 10, 17, 27, then you will have 37, then you will have here 47, and then we will have 57 and 58. Okay, so I colored the 58. Now how many are there? So 58 this one, 59, 60, 61 and 71. So you will have 71 squares that are colored. And this is 71th. Okay, so you have to write 0.71. Okay, now let's check how many total squares you colored. 0.71. Now they are saying shade the grid to represent 0.13. You did it. How can you represent 0.58 on the grid? You will color 58 boxes. Yani color 58 boxes. And how can you represent it? 1 over or 58 over 100. Why 58 over 100? That out of the 100 squares, you colored the 58 boxes. So this is the way how you represent it. Similarly, if I say, how can you represent 0.13 according to the boxes? You will say that 13 boxes I colored out of 100. Now, most important things are the word problems. Okay, so focus on the word problems. Focus on the word problems. But before that one, you must memorize and remember few things. Don't forget these things. Remember what? Sum, okay, sum, add, plus, more, right? If these words are given to you, it means plus. Okay. Now, if they are asking you, even they are asking you, they will ask you, for example, total, okay, or overall, in all, okay, so all word. So normally these words are used to represent the addition. Now, the other thing, if they ask you few, difference, subtract, less, left, okay, so these things represents you the minus or the subtraction, okay. So now let's read it. When we read the word problems, we underline or circle the important things. How? Julia has $1 for a snack. Okay, so what I am reading, I am writing also. She has $1, so I write 1. Now since I have the decimals, okay, so I don't have the decimal here, so I write here point, and after that point I will write 0. Okay, she buys an apple for 0.49. Okay, she buys, okay, in 0.49. How do I write? Under the point I write point, and then put 0 before, 4 here and 9 here. Now the question is, do I need to add them or subtract them? So for that, read it. How much does she has left? Now what is left means? Look here. Left means what? Minus. It means you will subtract these two digits with each other. Okay. On the empty places we put the 0. Now I said from the up to the down we subtract. From the 0 I cannot subtract the 9, right? Okay, so I will ask my neighborhood to give me 1, but unfortunately it also has 0. So it cannot give you anything. So first of all, let this 0 borrow it from the neighbor. So it gives you 10. So over here left 0, and from this one, okay, from this one he will borrow this one. So when he will gives, yani this one will gives you here 1, so it becomes 10, but out of this one gives you only 9. Okay, so 10 minus 9 is 1. Now 9 minus 4 gives you 5. Point, 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 and 0 minus 0, of course, it will be 0. Okay, I hope that you understood. But let's try one more question. And understand, a group of friends is spent $31.95. So let's write here 31.95. Write it separately, okay? On a movie ticket, and 12.54 on refreshment. Okay, so let's write 12.54. Under the point, point. Before the point 2 is written, and before the 2 1 is written. Write all the digits under this one, each other. After the decimal 5 and then 4. Okay, now let's see whether we will add it or subtract it. Let's read. How much did they spend in all? Okay, total, all. So it means what? Add. So we will add them. Okay, let's start. 5 plus 4, 9. 9 plus 5, 14. So look here, it is 14. So we write 4 under this one and 1 carry on the other one. Point, point, point. Add 1 plus 1, 2. 2 plus 2, 4. And 3 plus 1, 4. So that is our answer. Means he spent $44.49. Now the question is, how can I write it? Because it's a word problem. So you will write, you start writing from here. Last line write. They spend in all $44.49. That's it. Understand? Chu rides his bike 1.39 miles. So first of all, here is this one. Okay, so I write here 1.39 miles. Okay. On the way home, he takes a shorter route than the route he took to the baseball practice. How far? Yani how much left? How much far does he ride his bicycle from the baseball practice to home? Okay, so the route home is 0.18 miles shorter. Okay, 0.18 miles shorter. So how far does he ride? It means again you have to subtract, because the longer route total was 1.39, and when he takes the shorter route, the shorter route is 0.18 miles shorter than the previous one, which means how much left he drives, right? Or he rides. Okay, so how far he rides, you will write the minus. Okay, 9 minus 8, 1. 3 minus 1, 2. Point. 1 minus 0 is 1. So, he write 1.21. So, how I will ask you, how can I write in the answer? I will take the last line. Okay, he ride his bicycle from the baseball practice to home 1.21 miles. Okay, so you have to write, or you can write he ride 1.21 miles, okay, from the baseball practice to home. Understand? Okay, let's try next. Matthias is working on science project in school. He needs 0.33 kilogram. So 0.33 I wrote as the kg of dry ice and 0.55 kg of regular ice. Let's write 0.55 also. Okay, this one is the dry ice and this one is the regular ice. How many total kilogram? Remember, I told you total means what? Plus. So you will add them. How much total kilogram of ice does Matthias needs for his project? So add them. 3 plus 5, 8. 3 plus 5, 8. Point, and 0 plus 0, 0. So 0 point. Now how do we write? How many total? So you will write total he needs, or you can write, let's see here. Matthias needs for his project 0.88 kilogram of ice. That's all. Next question. When two decimals are added or subtracted, in what order you should add or subtract the digits in the decimal? Okay, so tell me this answer. Pause the video, write your answer and write in the comment box. Okay, which order? Under the decimal, we write the decimal, right? We subtract or add in the vertical order in such a way that under each decimal, we write the decimal. Pause it, write it, okay? In your own words. So number 6, use the table to subtract this thing. Okay, so look at this 378.5. So first thing is we put the point. Now after the 0.5, before the point, 873. Okay, then I told you that in that addition or subtraction, under the decimal we put the decimal. Okay, 26.19. So here is 6, here is 2. But 19, here is 1 and here is 9. Okay, so if there is empty place, I told you to put the 0. Now subtract because they are asking us to subtract. Okay. 0 minus 9. You cannot subtract the 9 from 0. So what do? You borrow 1 from the neighbor. So here left 4 and it becomes 10. 10 minus 9 is 1. Now it is 4. So 4 minus 1 is 3. Point. 8 minus 6 is 2. And 7 minus 2 is 5. And here nothing. So 3 minus 0 is 3. I hope, you students, that you are understanding how we can add or subtract the digits. Okay, let's try. Shade the grids to model the problem. 2.31. Okay, it means how you will do 2.31. Look at this. 2.31. What does it mean? That two whole things, this whole grid, this whole square, this whole grid is said to be one whole, right? So you are going to shade the whole grid. Here how many? This is the whole. Yani two whole grids you shade. So I am shading this whole grid. You shade it properly. And I am shading this whole grid. Now 0.31. So from the third grid, you have to only shade 31 boxes, right? So here this is all this 10. This one will be 20, this one will be 30, and this is 1. So 31. You did it. Now after that, and add 89 also. Okay, so add 89. How can you add it? Let me just take the other one. 89. Okay, so let's see here. This is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 and 9. Look here, this is empty, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Okay, so now how many in total? How many total squares are shaded? You shaded here 100, here 100, 200, yani two holes. Then here total 300 and 320 squares you have shading. Okay, so squares, so 320 squares, small squares you are shading, or you can say that 3 holes and 20 squares. 20 is small, 20 is small squares you are shading. Okay, what is the sum? What is the sum? You can see 3 holes, it means 3. Okay, and 20 is small, so you will write 0.20. Now you want to check? Let's check it. Okay, let's check it by our own method. So first write 2.31. So you will write 2.31. 0.89, under the point write the point. Here 8, here 9, here 0. Add them. 9 plus 1, 10. 0 here, 1 carry. 8 plus 3, 11. 11 plus 1, 12. 2 write down and carry 1. 2 plus 1, 3. So you see the answers, whether you use the grid answers or grid method or direct method, both gives you the same answers. Hope the whole scenario is already understood to you. I will explain 2 more questions. The rest you will solve. Okay. So here let's set 5 plus 3, right? 8. 0 plus 1, 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. Point. 0 plus 0, 0. That's all. Let's add this one. 1 plus 0, 1. 5 plus 8, 13. 3 down and 1 carry. 6 plus 1, 7. 7 plus 5, 12. So 2 down, 1 carry. Point. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 plus 1, 4. That's all. Okay, now let's subtract. Okay, now you cannot subtract this 6 from the 2. 2 is smaller than the 6. So what do? You borrow 1 from the neighborhood. So when you borrow, the neighbor is left with the 8 and this becomes 12. So 12 minus 6 is 6. 8 minus 5 is 3. Point, and 0 minus 0 is 0. So pause the video, try to solve the question number 11. Now again, 7 is smaller than 8. So borrow the 1 from the neighbor. So it becomes 17, but the neighbor will have now 2. So 17 minus 8, it will gives you, I guess, 8 and 1, 9. Okay, so 9, yes. And then 2 minus 0 is 2. 8 minus 4 is 4. Point, and then 0. So I hope that all the questions are clear to you. The questions which I didn't solve, I think now it is so easy for you to understand and write the answers of those questions which I didn't mention here. Okay, so do the questions which I'm not explaining in the video. Send me the screenshot in my comment box. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.